In this video, I'm going to break down my plans for Euro USD. I have a summer sale running on my trading academy and Discord right now. This is probably going to last through most of September. So if you want to trade with me, learn my full trading systems and get access to my personal support, head over to the link in the description. You'll be able to find the link to the Discord. And if you use the code SS30 at checkout, you're going to save £75 off the Discord only access. And you'll save £150 on the full trading academy and Discord access if you want that. Now let's dive into the video. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. In today's video, I'm going to break down Euro USD and I'm going to show you my plans for this pair for the upcoming week. So in last week's video, I was looking at buys from this point. Hopefully some of you capitalized on that. Now, if you watch my case study video at the end of the week, you'll see that I actually messed up a little bit on Euro USD last week. I caught a nice trade here. That was a nice profitable move. But then I had a plan to buy from this demand and sell from this supply. And I ended up actually trading against the trend, trying to sell into this up move and buy into this down move. So I ended up going against my plans, made a couple of mistakes, still ended profitable with a nice trade here and only two small losses here. But still, it didn't work out as well as it should have. So what I'm going to do this week is try to stay in the flow and try and get some nice trades on Euro USD with the trend this time. And as we can see, the trend is actually down. So you can already see printed on the screen my kind of basic idea for Euro USD. If we look at this full range, we can see that this actually reacted from this supply and has sold off since then. So this is kind of efficient, right? We're in an efficient down move. We've hit the supply, we sold off, then we came up, we retested once again in the kind of refined areas of this large supply zone, and now we've sold off. This was the first sign of a breakdown. We pushed through this low, made a lower low and equal lows, then we pulled up, hit supply, and now we've sold off and broken into new lows. Now this has actually broken the 0.99 key level, which is a major key level, and puts us into multi-year lows. Following a break of this level, we can probably be sure now that the market is going to make quite a significant move down because we've broken into new lows and we've actually showed that this was just a range of weakness and a redistribution before selling off. So what I'll be looking for on Euro this week is a continuation sell move if we can pull back into some of these key areas. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, we can see supply here was retested, followed by a large sell-off. And if we grab our tool to mark the imbalance, we can see that this is now heavily imbalanced. We can see we had this price action towards the end of the week, and then this week we've gapped down and traded into the new low. This has broken the full range, as you can see, break under this low, which is what kind of puts us into this bearish territory. But am I happy to sell right now? Personally, no. I think we've got some pullback moves to actually play out before we can sell. Now, my key favored move would be a full pull through imbalance to trade into this area where I could then look to sell from. Now I'm going to go with confirmations for this week. I'm going to look at the low time frames and I want to see a break in the structure like so that I can confidently sell down into that move. Now, if we traded into this gap fill and started to show bearish confirmations, we could look at this, but I'd probably want a double confirmation with some form of significant breakdown before I started selling into this, because I wouldn't be so sure about this one actually holding up when we have this heavy imbalance and clear imbalance supply above. So these are the kind of ideas I have right now, but I definitely favor this high zone for the shorts. And if we enter this with confirmation, we should avoid taking any losses on the way into our profitable trade anyway. Now my target for this trade is some very old price action. You can see it's 0.9800. And if we scale back all the way to 2002, you can see this is where the demand zone is. We're now trading in this imbalanced area. So if we can push down towards 0.9800, that's going to be a kind of a final target for me before we can see maybe some potential short-term rebounds or a major breakdown, which will take us into even lower prices that we could sell into. But I think for this trade, we don't really need to try and take it too much further than 0.9800. We've got a nice high pip range down towards that point, which could give us some very profitable trades if we can lock that in. So this week we've seen a gap down, we've seen price make a lower low. Now we've seen price push up and kind of make a higher high without fully filling the gap yet. So if we mark that on like so, you can see the gap is there. We have a small area between where the gap began and where it ends now that hasn't been filled, which is this range here. And I would expect price to actually pull up into that, targeting at least that supply zone above to kind of initiate either the first shorts or break through, probably more likely, and continue up towards that larger selling area we've got up here around 1.00200. Are we going to see any trading opportunities before the sells? Now we should be cautious to actually buy into this because we are obviously very weak. But I do see kind of one idea here that we could maybe take advantage of if it forms up nicely. Now we can see we have the kind of trend structure as marked. We had the gap. Now we've had a higher high. We've broken into higher highs. We haven't quite filled that gap yet. So if we were to pull towards this demand zone here on the 5-minute time frame, or at to push this demand zone here on the 5-minute time frame at the very extreme, these being the imbalance zones in this trend, we could look for some form of buys. Now, I would want to go with confirmation, as mentioned, for the sells as well, because we are essentially buying into a weak market here if we go for these moves. But if we were to get that confirmation within one of these zones, preferably this one here, but maybe more so likely this one here, because this is where the market really took off from, then we could look for some buys. And these buys, I would only personally look to target into this supply zone here. And then if we do break out from there, we can just focus on the sell side. I don't want to try and stretch these buys out too far because there is a chance that we hit this point and then just roll over. So for the low time frame kind of perspective, we could get some buys from one of these two areas. So to zoom back out and look at my larger idea for Euro USD this week, I will be looking for a potential buy to sell with a heavy focus on the selling, not so much the buying. The buying can come in from one of these low time frame points and should finish here. And then we can look for double confirmation shorts from this point, or most likely a break above to take out this imbalance, fill into the supply zone where we can look for a nice confirmation trade down. If we go with the confirmation approach, we don't need to worry about the market moving higher for liquidity because we will be covered on our trades anyway. So even if the market did push in towards the realms of this area, personally, I don't think it has the strength to do that right now. We will be safe and we won't have to take loads of losses on the way to a win. So that is my trade idea for the week ahead. We are looking for a target into 0.9800 off of one of these sell points, and we can probably look for a small buy into these areas on the way there. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. What do you think about this analysis? Let me know in the comments if you align with this in any way, or if your analysis and your ideas for Euro USD is totally different. If you benefit from my work and you want to join my trading academy, learn my full trading systems, or trade with me on a daily basis, then head over to the link in the description. I do have a summer sale running right now. You can save 30% off on all lifetime access passes. So if that's something that sounds good to you, head over there and I'll see you inside. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope I've given you value, and I'll see you in the next video.